The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only, and any reference on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk. This podcast should not be considered professional advice whatsoever. The third-party materials or content of any third-party site referenced in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions, standards, or policies of the owner. In other words, just have a fucking sense of humor, will you? And enjoy.
Now you listen to me, you sick son of a bitch.
Hey!
Wow.
Wesciophilia.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. I've heard some really cool rappers rap it in the past. You know, Dub C from West Side Connection. He would go Wesciophilia. I've got no idea what it means, but I was listening to a bit of them before this, so that's why it stuck in my head.
Isn't it in the new 6ix9ine song? Does he say it in the new 6ix9ine song?
Oh, you mean Tekashi's?
Yeah.
Tekashi 6ix9ine with his leaf trees, those guys.
Anyway, the Shits and Gigs battle cry is strong for episode 16. And you know why 16 is significant, Omar?
Why?
It's because it's the legal age that in New Zealand you're allowed to stick your penis into a vagina.
Oh, wow. 16? Really?
Yeah.
The legal age for doing that.
It's young here, man.
It is, that's pretty. But what's it around the world? 18, 21?
It's usually, I think, 17 or something.
Really? In Russia, it'd be like 11, I think. Must be.
Probably.
Probably. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Shits and Gigs, the podcast. This is number 16, are you sure?
16, yeah, man. 16.
Wow, we've done far out. We're coming up to another round number. We're coming up to the 20, which is ridiculous.
Well, it would be 20 if we included our 4 coronavirus specials that we've been doing.
Those hits. Those were really good. Those were fucking great. But unfortunately, that was the finale, the one that we just did. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming out for that. You came. It was manic, which was really good. A lot of listens. So thank you very much for doing that. And smash up those likes, smash up those subscribes, and make some comments on the YouTube and the Instagram. And yeah, because we've got Instagram now, and then also Facebook as well. So please do that.
Links in the description.
Exactly. Links in the description. But thank you for coming back to this episode. This is the number 16. This is going to be a fantastic episode. We put a really good episode in, so please listen to the very end because you don't want to miss things out. Because, you know, sometimes we reference other things that we talked about. You know, there's hypothetical questions. There's new bits as well, which, of course, is the recommendation station. So we've got a lot going on today, Noel. But first of all, big thing, the biggest question around is, how are you? How was your week, mate? And what did you get up to?
Well, I think, like most people, it's just kind of getting back to normal, really, isn't it? You know?
Oh, shit. Yeah. Now, speaking of that, thank you very much for bringing that to my attention. Sorry for I'm going to stop you there. It's funny that you say about this whole normal thing, going back to normal. Normal, yeah. I don't think it's normal. Do you feel it's quite normal? Do you feel like we're back to where we were before this whole shit happened? Do you think we're back there?
What is normal? What is
okay?
Yeah. I don't want to get too deep, but yes, I think that people are friendlier. I honestly think.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, people are waving. Hey, how's it going? Sort of,
waving,
bit more polite. You know,
Jesus,
in the neighborhood.
Okay. Oh, maybe that's because it's in the neighborhood. I mean, you haven't been to Auckland recently, have you?
No.
You haven't been to maybe the major centers there. It is. Oh my God. For me, it has not been. People aren't friendly. People are stressed. The anxiety levels are through the roof. People are rushing around. People are scared.
They're hustling.
You know?
Are the roads busy then now? Are they?
Oh, they're very busy, and people can't drive properly.
They forgot.
People are like, they forgot how to drive, man. And they're on the other side, not on the other side of the road, but they just keep swerving from left to right, and they're just not sticking to their lane. You know, stay in your lane, bitch. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's true, actually. I was following a car back from Raglan the other day, and it was all over the bloody road. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a narc, but I was thinking about calling the cops and going, this motherfucker can't drive. She's going to kill somebody all over the center median and everything. Dangerous.
we don't want to be a narc like 6ix9ine. No, Tanashi. Is that? I don't even know that's how you pronounce his name. His song sucks. But yeah, Tekashi. But anyway, yeah, it was rough, man. Like, I've just been noticing people are not getting back to normal. People are just running around headless chickens. And they don't know what the hell they're doing. It's ridiculous. And I've also noticed people are getting shitter at their jobs because I think they're a bit rusty. Everything isn't working properly. Nobody's working. You call up. I'm trying to do this thing with I'm in the middle of a fucking email battle. Have you ever been in one of those?
No.
An email battle with someone. You're emailing back and forth, and it's not like a text battle, because in a text battle you can just go do this, and they say no, and then you go, well, fuck you, and that's the battle, and that's done.
So are you complaining about a product or something? Is this what?
I'm trying to get something done with the government.
Good luck with that.
Tax. Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to get. I'm working with Australia because there's all this tax thing going on and all this crap going on. So I'm just trying to work with Australia to do this whole tax thing and link up my new numbers. So then I've got this international tax. Blah blah blah. Bullshit. So it's in their interest to do this as well. It's not my interest. They got me to do this. So I'm emailing them. I called them up. 4 hours later, you're still on the phone, listening to stupid
Beck Runger and
yes, all that crap. 660 and it's annoying
Brooke
music
Fraser.
because it's repetitive. The first time you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, I love this song, and then you're like, I've heard this 60 fucking times. I hate these lyrics and I hate these guys. It's ridiculous. And then as soon as you get to them, they're like, hi, welcome to welcome to the government website. How can I help you today? Can I please start with your name? And you're like, yeah, my name's Omar. They go, how do you spell it? I'm like, Omar, just the normal way, O-M-A-R. Amar, no, Omar. And they don't. And then they go, right, what can I do? Hello, and then they're gone.
Yeah,
something's happened, connections, whatever. So I'm not calling them again.
Well, at least you're actually talking to a person, because most of the time it's fucking robot lady. Push 1 to go through to menu 6, and then go back to
totally.
Get the fuck out of here. I want to talk to a robot. I want to talk to a person.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the call, it was a robot going, please, in a few words, say what would you like us to help you with. Then you go, tax. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Can you say it again, please? Tax. I'm sorry, just one more time. Oh, for fuck's sake!
This phone this phone call might be recorded for training purposes.
Training purposes.
Yeah, whatever.
I always say, don't record this. Don't record it.
I always abuse the robot. I'm like, fuck you, robot lady.
They're probably recording and they could probably hear you swearing at them.
You are hurting my feelings.
In Australia, they've got this thing now where when you talk to them, right before they say, please do not abuse us. If you abuse us, we have the right to hang up on you.
Fair enough.
Because Australians, they'll abuse the shit out of you.
Oh, yeah, for
and
sure.
And they do, because you're angry. You're like, you fucking. And they just
working
sound
in
like
an
the
Australian
birds.
call center would be the worst job in the world.
Oh, you have to have so much patience, man. But anyway, going through the email battle. So I went onto the battle of email. So then instead of calling them, I emailed them. And I got the person's name, so I said, this direct to this person, and I went to the wrong place. Anyway, it was just email after email, and it's not just like, how can we help you today? They send me all this crap I got to read through, and then I got to send an email back, which takes me about 2 hours, and then they respond tomorrow, and then I get it, and I read it, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, what is this wrong? And then I write another email, which takes me 2 hours sending it. Then they send me another one saying I didn't get the last email. You're like, for God's sake. And it's not just like, yes, no, here it is. It's like, what can we help you with? Right, well, this is it, telling them my story and everything about me, typing furiously. Then you have to give it to someone to look over, because did I make sense? Because I was in a panic of writing this stuff. And it's just back and forth, and we haven't got anywhere. We haven't got any. I even had to explain in the last one, this is for you. I am doing this for you. I don't have to do this, but I will get fined. This is for you.
Well, I think you should give up, Omar, before you have a heart attack or a hernia or a stroke or something like that, you know?
I'm feeling it.
But yeah, I imagine the government's under strain somewhat, you know? There's lots of other stuff going on now that
don't be on their side, mate. Don't do that. We're doing this together. Don't just flip sides like that, mate. Jesus Christ!
I betrayed you, Omar. I betrayed you. Anyway,
So well done, mate.
we're down to level 2.
Nice chat.
Yeah, brilliant. We're down to level 2, and
That's right.
yeah, lockdown has been tough for most. And what was it? 6, 7, 8 weeks or something like that.
Something like that.
But
Don't know. Lost count.
But something else was in lockdown longer, and that was
go on.
the Egyptian toadstool. It went into lockdown a few weeks before lockdown even started. So everybody's asking for an Egyptian toadstool update. Is the Egyptian toadstool out of lockdown?
Yeah, that's funny that you brought that up. Someone did actually ask me about it. It was my partner's grandma. And yes, everything's fine, man. Everything's good.
Back to normal?
Back to normal, man. It's just got a nice little scar there. It looks like Scarface.
He's got a little face mask on.
Well, no, it doesn't. Not anymore. It used to.
It had a little face mask on.
It did have a little face mask. I had to wrap it up every day. I had to go see nurses. Jesus, mate. That was 6 weeks I could really forget about.
Yeah, so all those people complaining about being in lockdown, the Egyptian toadstool was in lockdown longer. So it's good to see.
It was.
It's free.
It is good to see, but you haven't seen it free.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see it free. I'm just glad it is.
You don't want to see it.
So
you're glad that it is free.
It can
yeah.
spread
You're happy
its
for me that it's free.
mushroomous pores.
Gotcha. It's out, mate. It's looking good. I don't know what to do now, but it's fine. It's good. It's doing what it needs to do, and it's fine. It's
so
Fine,
percentage?
to answer your question.
Percentage recovered?
It was a bit 110%.
110%. It actually grew a little bit.
It did.
As well, so there
With
we
a
are.
slight tilt. A little bit of a slight tilt on it going on here. As the doctor said, there will be a little bit of a tilt. And there is.
It's like the leaning mushroom of Pisa.
It's good. It does its job, It's there to... Of course, at the very beginning, it was a bit scary to know what to do with it because it hasn't been used in a while. I couldn't do anything. But 6 weeks of, not doing anything, you guess, you do the maths, you work it out, what came out of it, 6 weeks of gunk.
Jesus, it'll be like the Niagara Falls.
The Niagara Clunky. But yeah, good. There we go. Thank you very much, everybody, for being so concerned. Noel, yourself. But yeah, everything's good there, mate. But let's go into the next bit, which of course is the ad copy. No ads.
What's happening with Bet on the Side?
I don't know. They're a bit busy trying to work out how they can make events, I think. And this time they're just doing Zoom. They've got nothing to do really. No events are happening. No one's but work or doing anything like that. But they have started a side company, which could be quite interesting, which they talked about.
A bit on the side of the. What's that going to be called?
Maybe the bit on the bit on the side of the side.
The side of the side bit of the bit on the side.
The bit of the side of the bit of the side. Your bit on the side. Maybe that's how they go. Your bit on the side.
Well, hopefully, Bit on the Side will be back with us before we know it, and
they'll be back.
Yeah.
We've already talked about it. I've been complaining about new equipment because when we get out of this, we keep promising this, but of course we all know that COVID-19 has got in the way. But we are going to have some guests come on board. We're also going to be doing some special episodes with some international guests, which is going to be quite interesting as well.
Moving up in the world.
Moving up in the world, and we're getting some really good traction with this podcast thanks to you. So, and then they've seen the stats. They know what's going on. The listens are up. The brand's getting out. So we're doing really well. So yeah, I mean, I want some new equipment. I want some some more booze.
Have we had any more crypto tips yet?
Well, we can't do tips. I won't be, but we will be doing a crypto thing.
Oh no, I'm talking about people tipping the podcast with crypto.
Oh yes, we have in BAT tokens. Yes, we have.
Wow.
Yes, we have.
And what's
Every
happened
week
with the BAT tokens over the lockdown issue?
Are you kidding me? Bitcoin went up to 160%, which takes everything with it.
So we're rich now.
Yeah, well, we're good. We're actually not rich, but we're good. I think a BAT token now is. I think I can have a check right now, everybody. A BAT token. So that's Brave token. It's a browser. And what it enables you to do is if you have a Brave wallet linked to your browser, if you are a publisher or you make a YouTube, Instagram, everything like that, Podbean, you can ingrain a Brave reward system, but you don't have to do anything. It does it for you. It just knows that you are a maker of content. And then if someone sees that, and all it is, if they've got a Brave browser, they can see under your content that you are a Brave creator. And all they do is that they tip you in Brave tokens. How do you get Brave tokens? Well, basically, by just having the browser, you can you get all of the advertisements that pop up, and usually they're there to steal your data, usually like Facebook and stuff, and they don't pay you for that.
Yeah.
But what you can do is you can actually block all of the ads, or you can allow the ads to come, but then because they pop up in your face, you get paid for that. So you get paid from the advertising, and so...
Interesting.
It is. So right now, a Brave token is valued at... we've got a bit here at the moment. We've got over here... this is only from a week and a bit ago. we've got 15.9 BAT tokens.
Nice.
Which is equivalent to $3. Which is not bad.
What, per BAT token or?
No, for 15.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? Oh, that's only from this week. We get it pretty much every week.
I was hoping for more like sort of 300 or something like that.
Well, let's have a look. Look at the price of it. I mean, it takes time, brother. You know, this is a basic attention token, part of the Brave. So at the moment, they're 20 cents for a token. At the peak of the market, when it went through the roof, it went up to $1. So if we just hold and people keep tipping us in Brave tokens, that 15 could be $15 soon.
Brilliant.
You know, so you do the maths.
Oh, didn't you say that we're pumping so much money into the economy that it's not even $15 would probably get us a Big Mac now? And you said in a year it's going to be like $80 for a Big Mac.
Yeah, $70 for the hyperinflation that happens due to all of this printing. They just printed another $3 trillion on Monday, which is ridiculous. So think about it, $3 trillion going back into the market. You know, it makes no sense.
Do they actually print it, Omar, or is just somebody just punching numbers into a computer?
So
like, there's not a factory printing money.
Well, there is a factory that prints money. That's called the Federal Reserve.
But all that money going in won't be just printed money that they're trucking everywhere. It's just
what they do is, so back in the day, it used to be the gold standard where money was printed to the value of gold. So you had the amount of gold in a reserve, let's say is 3 billion. Then you can print 3 billion worth of dollars because that currency is backed by something. New Zealand they do it with tourism industries. You can do it with the tourism industries or whatever your country is, you know, known for. You can back it with assets. Some people back it with property. It depends on which countries. But then you've got this amount which you can back and print dollars with. But the Federal Reserve now not backing anything for nothing. They used to back it by buying things, and then that value of what they purchased, that say those bond stocks at, became the value for the next printing. But now they don't do that. So there is a factory that does it, but what they're doing is they're just adding zeros, or they're printing it into digital form and then printing it later on. So that's why people are like, well, we're not going to get inflation. Where's the inflation? Where is it? Why is Big Mac the same price? It's not going to happen now. It happens when that money is going to market. So what they could do, they're slowly going to be releasing bits and pieces, a trillion here. They have already, so right now it's 26 trillion in debt, the US is, which is pretty ridiculous when at the beginning of the year it was 15.
That's going to take a while paying it off $10 a week.
Exactly. But then you also have to back it out. So if that money's going up, you need to have, but who's going to be paying for that trillions of dollars? The taxpayers. Because the tax goes towards that debt to bring it down. But because people aren't working, people aren't paying tax. So the value of the dollar that's getting printed, that every minute there is, I think it's 10 million. And for every tax that's going in is minus 300,000.
Jesus.
So that they're not, it's completely the other way. So that's how we're going to get inflation. So it's going to happen down the track. We're not going to feel it to maybe about a year.
Audit the Fed.
Audit those motherfuckers. Enough education there. We'll get into a full episode about that at some point in time. But good questions, Noel. Great questions.
Yeah, well, I'm learning too, you know, mate. I actually don't know about these types of things, so I legitimately am hearing this for the first time. Well, I did know a bit about the Federal Reserve, actually, but yeah. Okay.
We could always bring a little bit of the market, maybe do like a little market update at some point in time, like oil's going through
tips and updates.
Totally. Like that's basically it. So let's move on to a nice little bit where I like to call it the middle bit. The middle bit. Welcome to the middle bit. Seems a bit different, a bit airy in this one. So would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, it's great. It's great to be back in the middle bit, and we're going to start off with a fun little story here, which happened in our home country of New Zealand. Now, this happened a wee while ago, but there has been an update. But basically, and you know, nobody likes a thieving bastard. You know, like thieves are terrible. Thieves are terrible.
Federal Reserve, yeah.
And this got international news. In New Zealand, we have this company called Juicy Rentals. We see the rental cars going around. Sometimes they have like interesting designed camper vans. And while we were in lockdown, some crazy thieves, and I've actually got a bit of respect for this because this is amazing. They managed to steal 97 vehicles out of their lockup. 97.
Jesus. So did they have 97 people doing it?
Well, I don't know.
Or
did they have one person went back 97 times? I'm not entirely
Jesus.
sure. That's a fucking shitload of cars to steal.
That is a lot,
and they've all got juice. The thing is, they've all got little stickers on them. So, you know, like, so instantly the police were like, oh, I wonder what we're looking for. I don't know, juicy rental cars. So anyway,
Yeah. But then the issue is, how do you know a stolen juicy from not a stolen juicy? Because
that's a good point. There'd be a lot. Well, because there wouldn't be any fucking what's it called? Because this was in lockdown, yeah. So there wouldn't be any tourists driving around in their juicy rental things. So, you have to presume that the cars on the road are the stolen ones. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
and we're probably all riding together. So if you saw 97 of them driving, you'd be like, you won't be like, oh, those tourists. Yeah. That'd be so weird. You're driving along and you just see 97 in lockdown, where you shouldn't even be driving anyway, but you're just driving to get something, go to the supermarket, and you see 97 of those bastards driving past you. You'd be like, oh, well, those tourists going somewhere interesting.
Well, there's good news for Juicy Rentals, because fortunately the police managed to recover 85 of the stolen 97 vehicles, and
Woo, congratulations.
29 arrests have been made. So good work.
Well, there we go, 29.
Yeah, so there was. It must have been like a whole bloody syndicate of professional thieves, like gone in 60 seconds. And
I'm not going to be racist. I'm not going to be racist. I hate when people say that. I'm not going to be racist, but. No, but I'm not. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it would have been, let's say, Nicolas Cage from Gone in 60 Seconds. I don't think. It depends. Like, I love investigations. I would be a detective if I could. But I would definitely would love to go deeper into this and find out like what their tactics were without seeing the guys. I would like to see how they broke it. Where were the cars? I mean, were they in South Auckland? Where were they? How do they hide them?
Yeah, you can make a documentary where you don't show their faces and you just follow the criminals around.
And then you've got to work it out and figure out to yourself as an audience member who they were. But like, I would love to read. I didn't even know this article exists. This is a shock to me. And they're saying it's devastating for business. But it would be interesting. I would love to go through this and see if they do mention where they found the cars, or
South Auckland.
by the looks of things. And the funny thing, Pukekohe, that says there. So, this is also from BBC News, so it got a bit of coverage.
Yeah,
there,
it got
so
worldwide coverage. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's good. Good on you guys for being arrested and doing something stupid. Moving on. I'm just going to show you this interesting thing. It's by our friends. We cover this a story from this news article. This place called the Double Bay Today.
Oh, which, Sydney's Double Bay Today, where the news and current affairs matters. That's their tagline.
And yeah, it is. Where news and current affairs matter, but you don't do a good job of it. These guys are shit at their job, because the last one that we went on was a guy that was wearing those budgie smugglers.
Oh, yeah, the Bondi goon.
Yeah, and they said it was about the budgie smugglers, but it wasn't. It was about him going swimming when the coronavirus was on, and that's why he can't be doing that, and he did. But they said, it's about the budgie smugglers, and it wasn't. Again, they come out with another article, and it goes, Sydney cocaine dealer arrested after applying for JobKeeper payment. And the funny thing is, I think I know him. So the leader of this Sydney drug syndicate is behind bars today. So he was one of the leaders after attempting to apply for a $1,500 a fortnight JobKeeper payment. Interesting thing about this is the honesty, the earnest naivety for this guy, because he goes, I need financial assistance. All the nightclubs are closed, and my Coke sales are down for more than 30% during COVID-19. So he did his research. Yeah, my stuff is down. I'm not selling drugs. 30% decline. Yes, check.
Yeah, he's honest.
I could apply for this, And the police attended the man Bondi Junction, not far from my house, where they found 1.2 kilos of cocaine worth an estimate street value of more than $300,000.
So wait. The job seeker people tipped them off and then sent the coppers on him. Is that?
Well, because you apply for this form.
Oh, you read it on the form.
Yeah, so on the form it goes here, JobKeeper payment form, Mark McShane. They gave his name away like that. Ridiculous. See this news? These guys suck. So they gave his name away. There is Mark McShane. Occupation required, cocaine dealer. Stupid. You gotta love this guy. You gotta love him.
Yeah. Honest to a fault, some would say. There was actually a similar one when we were in lockdown in New Zealand. We couldn't travel regionally. And there was some guy in the far north, or the Coromandel, he got stopped by the coppers. They're like, where are you going? He's like, I've got to check my crops. He told the coppers at the checkpoint that he desperately needs to check his crops.
Brutal honesty. I mean, honesty is the best policy, And then just to finish off, it goes here, McShane. That's so funny that they give out his name.
McShane.
McShane. Maybe it's not his name. Maybe they're lying about it. But
Jeff.
McJeff, Jeff McShane is a great name. Jeff McShane.
He could be with Rich Forrester on Bold and the Beautiful. Jeff McShane.
So he says he was applying for JobKeeper payment on behalf of his drivers. I'm actually quite a big employer, and I'm trying to run a business offering essential services. He calls his business an essential service. I mean, and he says, but times are tough, and clients just aren't spending enough. Fucking hell. Brilliant, mate.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant. Well done, Mark McShane. Well done. Moving on.
Another one for the Darwinism Award in Australia.
Now, last night we were going over some notes. First of all, I've got a note for someone, and that's for Hinaldo, our editor.
Geraldo. Yeah.
Hinaldo.
Yeah.
The coronavirus episode that we posted, we got the wallpaper thing, and he posted it onto Instagram and onto Facebook, stating that we've got this episode coming out today. Watch out, everybody! It's coming out, yeah. And good work on that, and that really worked how he posted and what he posted. Great, good on you. But he used a photo of me, and I had my mouth open, and I don't know what I was doing. Could you pick another better photo, please? What? I've got a bone to pick with Hinaldo.
All right, we'll hit him up. He's down to 10 hours a week now, though, because of...
Well, 5 at this rate. Could be fired, Hinaldo. Ronaldo, you listen to me now. None of those photos. You've got to send that shit through me so I can go, yeah, this is good. This works. I need to check it off. Not you just willy-nilly just doing that and posting it. What the fuck? What's going on with you? Think, think.
Well, at least,
anyway,
at least he's got the most of the writing right, because he can barely speak English. So
yeah, we've got. Yeah, sometimes he comes to us with all this writing, and it's just crap. We're like, we got to understand that.
It's because we keep threatening to take away his visa.
Yeah, totally. And then talking about visas, anyway, just going back on what I was saying. So last night, me and Noel were going through some of the notes, some of the articles, and Noel was writing on the Google Drive about the story. And because sometimes I like to surprise him, and we like to surprise each other, so we just have like a headline and then or heading. And for me, it just said mine just said Hitler, and that was it. But then I was writing some notes on his notes. Hitler article, and then I see him writing about this next story, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? This is my story. How did you find that? And he goes, this is funny as shit. And I was like, no, you ruined it.
So we found, but anyway, it's not our fault. Well, I thought you had a different Hitler story, so I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I've got a Hitler story too. So I went and found my Hitler story that I posted underneath. Turned out it was the same Hitler story.
I'm not, but then at the same time, how many Hitler stories would there be? So
that would be a few.
Well, okay. Anyway, let's go into this one. It's one of my favorites. So it goes, Twitter thinks that these Puma sneakers look a lot like Adolf Hitler.
They do.
They do. I want to buy them. Puma, give me some. Give me some of these. Which is currently sold out because I think they're like, oh, these look like Adolf. Oh,
so they look fantastic. So they will become rare and sought after. So somebody buys something and they upsell it on Trade Me because the line sockers they do kind of look like Hitler.
Someone and then what did this person tweet? Is it just me or these Puma trainers look like Adolf Hitler? They do. And there's two different ones. There's one which is green inside the sole. The way it just looks like him. It's got the laces bit looks like a mustache. You've got the hair that looks like it's combed over a bit, and then his mouth is open, so it looks like he's just yelling. Nostrils a bit flary as well from all the cocaine. And then they've got a photo of that. There's one which is green, and then they've got one below which has got more of a darker hair. Instead of blue.
So the green is like his Nazi uniform collar, isn't it? And then he's got the
You reckon?
The
Is that what it is?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And again,
it is good.
One of my favourite comments here was, these are when you really want to finish a race.
I don't get it.
Finish a race? Kill all the Jews?
Oh, Jesus. Wow. I must be slow today. I haven't eaten anything. I'm intermittent fasting. So, yeah, wow. That's ridiculous. That's fucking funny.
That's a great
Who
comment.
did that?
It was somebody called Josh Lupin. I don't know if it's on the same notes you have. I think this one was on...
Oh, so you went through the Twitter feed, did you? And tried to find some really funny comments?
Yeah, well, I think this one was on Facebook, actually, because someone posted it on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
Josh Lupin,
that's really good.
These are when you really want to finish a race, which is pretty good. So
that's That was very funny. Well done.
Interestingly enough, though, Adidas and Puma were started by two brothers. In the 19, I think they started in the 20s. But yeah, they were brothers, Adolf and Rudolf Dassler, right? Which is Dassler. Remember that because it's kind of that Adi Dassler. So, they were brothers, and they had a shoe company. Basically, they would make very popular sporting shoes, and basically they would supply a lot of the Hitler youth camps with all this awesome sporting gear. So they were the first people to really make like sporting shoes specifically for sport. Anyway, the brothers had a falling out, and they were Nazis, by the way. They had a falling out, and they decided to part ways, and one went on to make Puma, and the other one went on to make Adidas. Can you believe it?
Interesting. No, I can't. But you can by the name. You know, one of them, what was his name? Adolf Dassler.
Dassler, yeah.
Dassler?
Yeah.
Dassler. Adolf. That name's died down, innit? And Rudolph. Why would you call Adolf and Rudolph? What a stupid Dazzlers.
Well, they would have been
Fucking
popular
hell.
names back then. We all see that names change. But
but Rudolph is like
fucking red-nosed
who else?
reindeer.
Exactly. He's not German. Now they're trying to claim fucking Santa Claus and Rudolph.
It wouldn't be very good of a... maybe it used to be Adolf the red-nosed reindeer, and they changed it. Adolf the red-nosed reindeer.
I wish it was that, and I wish it still was. That would be hilarious. I'm going to change it for my kids. It's going to be Adolf the red-nosed reindeer from now on. And then when they sing it at school.
Anyway, so this is brought... Everybody's been loving my list. So this has brought up some interesting things.
Are they?
Yeah, everybody loves a list, especially Schindler. Like that. Yep, another one here. So I've got a list here
Yeah, okay.
of amazing things invented by the Nazis that we still love today.
Okay.
So, of course, we had Puma and Adidas.
I'm just writing that one down, yep.
Puma
and Adidas.
Invented by the Nazis.
Rudolph and Adolf.
Okay, number 2.
Yep.
Fanta. Fanta the drink
Fanta?
was invented by the
Fanta.
Nazis. Fanta originated as a Coca-Cola substitute during the American trade embargo on Nazi Germany. So basically, Germany affected the availability of the Coca-Cola ingredients in the 1940s. So they decided to create their own drink, and it comes from the German word fantasy. So basically, Nazis invented Fanta.
I do like a good Fanta.
I do, but it's just a real shame about their origins, unfortunately.
I don't know. You forget about that. You get over it.
Number 3, Volkswagen. Everybody loves a Volkswagen.
Yep.
Beautiful cars. You see all the girls in Ponsonby driving around in their
Totally. They love
Volkswagen Golfs. But unfortunately, Volkswagen is a Nazi company. In 1937, the government of Germany, under the control of Adolf Hitler and the National Socialist Party, the Nazis, they formed a state-owned automobile company, then known as I can't even read that because it's super German.
Well pronounced, though.
Yep. And one of the first cars they made was the People's Car, the Nazi People's Car, which we now know as the Volkswagen Beetle. So it was the very first generation of Volkswagen Beetle that we see today.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, more
Number
Nazi
5.
stuff that we love. Number 4, Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss started off his illustrious career by designing the uniforms for the Nazis. So we always said that the Nazis were pretty well dressed, and
yeah, they are.
Hugo Boss was the one that designed that. Do you remember this from a few years ago? Oh, a number of years ago now. And like Russell Brand was hosting like some Hugo Boss like corporate event, like award ceremony, and then he brought up the fact that Hugo Boss was created by the Nazis, and they kicked him out, which was brilliant.
That was Russell Brand at his peak. That was now he's doing shit.
He's a bit
now
of
he's doing shit on fucking podcasting.
Oh well.
Okay.
Number 5. We all love the fact that we went to the moon, but unfortunately, the reason we were able to get there is because the Nazis invented the Saturn rockets that got us there. So I don't know if you know about this. Operation Paperclip. This was in the 40s. Basically, the war had ended, so the American government and the Russians were dividing up all the German Nazi scientists because the Germans were ahead technology-wise. So they divided them all up, It was called Operation Paperclip, and we ended up with one of the scientists called Werner von Braun. And Werner von Braun, he was developing the V2 rockets, which were the one big, massive rockets that would shoot over to England. They weren't very good because, unfortunately, they weren't very accurate. But he went on later to redesign the V2 rocket into the Saturn rockets, therefore getting America to the moon first. So
Interesting.
And the last one, number 6.
Thank God.
Meth.
Meth?
Meth.
Oh, methamphetamine.
That's right. The Nazis invented methamphetamine. Basically, what happened was they were heavily into their drugs. So they had these massive factories where they would get like all the Nazis, all the German army were on meth, and this is how they This is how they were able to stay up for 3 or 4 days at a time, and just battle really hard and win. And it all went to shit for the Nazis as soon as the Allied bombed their meth factories. They had big factories where they would be making up all their methamphetamines, and the Allies bombed them. And then, of course, the Germans weren't able to get their meth, and therefore they kind of fell apart and weren't able to win the war. So there we are.
And that's when it all crumbled because of their meth.
That's
you can
right.
definitely tell by Adolf Hitler he was on meth when he would do those speeches.
There's a great documentary, actually. I'll put it in the show notes about Hitler being hopped up on heaps of drugs all the time. And there's a few videos where you can see him just gurning his face off. It's pretty good.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, that was my
so on edge.
That was my list of amazing things invented by the Nazis that we all love today. So enjoy.
There we go. Thank you very much. Well done. Just quickly on 6ix9ine, I don't really want to talk about him too much. I hate his new song. It's all over TikTok and stuff. People are doing it. He's just like that's what it sounds like. That's his track. That's how it goes. And it's just got like this beat, like it's like people putting up shelves, just banging things. It's so shit. But he's now attacking Snoop Dogg. He's attacking him, calling him a snitch.
What? Can't call Snoop a stitch.
I know, and then he brought his wife into it this morning. I woke up to the news and he was attacking his wife, Snoop Dogg's like 20-year-old wife. You know,
unbelievable.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I just say, stop it, Tanachi 6ix9ine with your crew.
He hasn't got a crew. He's by himself. I'm gonna say, who's producing his music? You don't see him shouting out the producer, do you? You remember he used to be like "Shawty" or whatever he used to say.
Oh yeah,
he's not doing that anymore because the guy's probably like, look, I know I made you some sick beats, but do you want to just keep it on the low for a little bit? Because I don't want to be associated with him.
Don't text me. Totally. But he probably knocked on him. Maybe he went into jail. Now he's going to have to do collaborations with DJ Khaled and yelling out, DJ Khaled!
I wonder if 6ix9ine got his $1,000 for knocking on his neighbours.
Yep, probably. You got heaps of money from it. So goodbye, Tanachi 6ix9ine, whatever your name is. Did you want to have a look at this? I love this. There's I don't know if we can play this. I think we can. So let's go. So this is I found this hilarious. So this is North Korea. So this is North Korea marching. We've all seen it before, but they've done an edit to this, and they've done something to it. So let's just watch a little bit of it. Noel,
okay,
press play
now. Oh Jesus!
Yes, the track, the beat. How good is this?
All right, we can't play too much; we'll get copyright struck. But yes, brilliant. We will post this in the notes. Yeah, it's basically someone's taken the Bee Gees "Staying Alive" and they've put it behind the North Korean army marching, and it's unbelievably good.
Very good. And the only reason I brought that to everyone's attention is I felt a little bit down on Sunday. And I was like, I want to feel a little bit better. You know, when you do that, you feel, I needed something to lift me up. Usually it's booze, alcohol, same thing, cigarettes, methamphetamine.
If you're a Nazi.
If you're a Nazi. Wine is this Mount Difficulty wine. But no, I was like, I need something else. So usually music. And I saw that and, North Koreans dancing to that. It was fantastic. I was uplifted straight away. I felt much better.
It looks like a fun place to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And Kim Jong dead is all right. There he is. He's all right doing
people. Actually, we should talk about this in the next episode. He's been out and about, but everyone's like saying he's a double. It's a body double. It doesn't quite look like him, or it's not quite right, or so.
Maybe lost a little bit of weight. He's a little bit less water retention.
He's been in hospital. He's had his poor heart worked on. So.
I mean, it would be quite a fun job being Kim Jong Il's little stunt double. That'd be quite fun. You got to find the perfect man.
Yeah, I wonder how far you have to go.
Probably to his brother, I think.
But the reason why they have them is so that if there's an assassination attempt, that they take them out instead of him.
Totally, and there's a really good movie about that, about Saddam Hussein. Have you seen that one? It's about his brother, one of his sons, I think it. Yeah, it's called The Devil's Double. Really good film.
Oh, no, it was. It's his son. And it's
his son.
the guy that plays Tony Stark in some of the Marvel movies. What's his name? He's really good. I like him too. Damn, forgot his name. Speaking of worst jobs ever, look at this little article, Umar here. If anybody's hard up for work right now in Australia, then don't worry, because there are jobs out there. But unfortunately, sometimes they're not the most pleasant. So here we are. Is this the worst job in Australia? Hundreds of pigs need to be milked for semen to satisfying the growing demand for pork, and workers have to collect it by hand. Oh, Jesus of Nazareth.
Jesus. I didn't even know they had wieners.
I didn't even know you milked, like, pig milking was the thing.
Yeah, pigs wanking, really.
You're basically wanking off pigs. I hope they provide gloves.
They will have to now with COVID-19. If COVID wasn't around, it doesn't really matter. It's weird that this... Oh, God. For some reason, a photo just popped up and it's a fucking pig's penis. For me. Get out of it. Jesus.
I love pigs. Pigs are cute, but I don't want to be jerking them off.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be... I'll eat it, but I would not jerk it off. And it's very weird that someone came out who was in COVID-19. They were stating that eating pig is good for you, and I think that's why there's a big demand now for pork. For some reason, they're saying that eating pork it helps against COVID. Apparently,
I love pork. Pork's my favorite meat. But unfortunately, I can't find anything about how much you would get paid or anything like that. Unfortunately, but I imagine it wouldn't. Yeah, it should be decent money.
No, you wouldn't. No, you just be a farmer, really. So you just be a farmer's assistant, so probably $220 a week. You know.
But you must go home at the end of the day. Like, imagine that day. You go home at the end of the day, and you get into your farm ute, and you drive back to your house, and you take off your boots. You go inside. Okay. You start taking a shower. You start crying.
Yeah.
Crying in the shower. The wife says, are you all right? You've been in there a while? I'll be out in a minute.
and you're playing the song, you're playing Simon and Garfunkel, Hello Darkness, my old friend.
That's right. And then your wife's like, oh, it's movie night tonight. What do you feel like watching? How about Babe?
Oh!
No thanks.
Yeah. Or if you're baking a cake or something, and you can do the marzipan or the bits on top with that little squirty thing, and you're holding it, and it squirts that little bit of white stuff that you put on the cake. And
What's
you
for
start
tea?
Like, trembling.
What's for tea? Pork crackling. Oh, no!
I like a good pork crackling. Really nice. That is a shit job. I'm sure there's other worse jobs out there that I would hate doing. That's pretty bad. But I think anything in the farm realm would be shit. Yeah, in Australia. Yeah, welcome to the government. How can I help you?
Oh, you fucking
I can hang out with you, mate. Okay,
son of a
let's
gun.
move into a bit of movie and TV stuff that's been going around. Then we'll go into recommendation station, and then we'll finish off very quickly with some Renner stuff. And we got a bit to do, so let's get through it. Okay, so what have we got here for movie news?
The Tem is back, mate. They're making a new Star Wars movie. The Mandalorian. They've cast Temuera Morrison,
of course,
to play Boba Fett, which I think is pretty rad, and good to see.
I think so as well.
We haven't seen the Tem in much lately, have we? You know, he's kind of been living under the radar a little bit. So the fact that he's back in the Mandalorian.
You say that because I've got heavily boozed with Tem in Sydney. He did what was it called? The one with he did the fucking Aquaman. He was Aquaman's dad.
Oh, he was. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he was in this other little shit Australian movie that I saw. Went to the premiere with him. And I've got some photos there. We'll put a photo of me there and Ari. And there's another photo here of me and him and Andy boozed. We got really boozed one time in Sydney. So, yeah, he's been in bits and pieces. But, of course, the reason he's also in this is you have Taika Waititi, who is doing the new Star Wars series. And he also directed the last episode of The Mandalorian. So that was Taika Waititi.
And he's the voice for that robot that's in the first few episodes that does all the... You know, when the robot's spinning around and doing all the shooting stuff?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's the voice for that robot as well.
Yeah, I love that bounty hunter droid. That thing's awesome.
That's cool.
Well, good to see again Temuera Morrison in that. He should be in the Star Wars.
To be playing Boba Fett, like, do you know how many people would kill to be Boba Fett? One of the most liked characters in Star Wars. Full stop. Even though he's a baddie, sort of. Awesome. Nice work, Tem.
I can hear cops. So well done, mate. Well, hope to see you on the red carpet again. What's this thing about a Jurassic Park guy dies?
A bit of sad
in the
news.
movie.
Unfortunately not. I can't say his name properly. Irfan Khan.
Oh,
you
yes.
remember him?
Yeah.
He was
Irfan Khan.
He was in Jurassic Park. He was the rich guy that owned Jurassic Park, or the investor. He was in Slumdog Millionaire and Life of Pi. Very sad news. He died age 53. Nothing to do with the Rona. Fortunately, he had been battling cancer, so
shit, mate.
love him. I really liked him. I thought a lot of the things that I'd seen him in, I was like, oh, he's good. And again,
he was good in The Life of Pi.
And one of those people to make that transition from Bollywood life into Hollywood life. So pretty cool.
Which is if you look at it backwards, that's probably a backwards move, because you get more money in Bollywood than in Hollywood, but then Hollywood's got more exposure to the Western world. Yeah, Bollywood, mate, you billions of dollars. You get
billions of rand.
The actors get paid, whatever
rupees.
The currency is rupees. And here's another little death that happened, which actually was quite touching. A good podcast of a very funny comedian, Mark Maron. No, he's not dead. He does What the Fuck podcast, and he's like one of the OGs in podcasts. His partner, not even a long-time partner, this is very short. He's one of those guys that doesn't want to have kids and has had many relationships, and he's also in quite a few TV shows like Glow and some other bits and pieces on Netflix. His partner, Lynn Shelton, who was a writer, she was the director of Hump Day and Glow, which is what he was in, and she just died. She had a blood clot, a bit of a blood disease. What was really weird for me, frustrating, but then also very touching, was like I listened to Mark Maron. I know his comedy, and he's quite a very touchy, what can I say, sensitive male, and just for like this happening, he's had a bit of a rough past, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, another thing for him. It was just so touching the way that he talks about things. But she also wrote like episodes of Mad Men, which is a good show that I love that show.
So was it quite a sudden death then? She just fucking dropped dead from a blood clot, or was there time to say goodbye or anything?
No, nothing. They knew that there was an issue. It wasn't a blood clot. It was a blood disease.
Okay, so it was like an ongoing thing. Yeah,
it was an ongoing thing. You can't do anything, and then she just basically, as he said, just stood up and then just collapsed.
Fucking terrible. Oh, well, I hope he's okay, because I enjoy that podcast too sometimes as well.
Yeah, he's awesome. We listened to that on the way to Hawke's
Bay.
Hawke's Bay. That was great.
We listened to Jeff Goldblum episode.
That was an awesome episode.
All right, I think we should move on into the recommendation station. This is where me and Omar we recommend stuff that we've been watching or social media.
That's the music, yeah.
Okay, cool. Social media or a book or anything, movie.
Yeah. So for me, I've got two that I'm going to just talk about very quickly. Of course, everyone's been hearing about it. Michael Jordan documentary that's happening with the Bulls, the basketball, COVID. We haven't had much sport, a little bit of UFC. But honestly, I've been really enjoying The Last Dance. This is the last week, and I've been watching all of them. Have you seen that about the Chicago Bulls?
I haven't, no.
Oh, man, amazing. Just it's amazing how they got all the footage, because it's just hours. You're looking at 8 hours worth of footage of Michael Jordan, his team, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, then also the people behind the Chicago Bulls, his coach, the promoters.
So is this all like 90s?
Oh, totally. Like 1997. You're even going back in even further back when Michael Jordan first got on the scene. You're seeing footage of like Dennis Rodman when he first came out of college, and and then also all the other teammates. You know, Chris, whatever that guy's name, the white guy. But for this whole show, for me,
Bird.
It was really cool, man. It's just for me, it's just been. What I've also done is I've gone back. It takes you back to your childhood for the music. And then it's good to understand Michael Jordan and his sort of way of he just wants to win, and he would mentally get himself into states where he really hated the teammates and he just wanted to win, and he made up all this stuff in his head. So Michael Jordan is just
this is why the recommendation station is great, because I haven't seen this either. So now you're selling it to me. You know, I'm going to watch this. I think, this is
totally. But I'm just going to sum it up in one word, one sentence. And The Last Dance is a documentary series about how badly white people age.
Michael Jordan doesn't age today.
Well, he's getting bloated. He's got some weird eye disease that's going on, which everyone's like questioning. Why is his eye so yellow? But for all those people that are watching this at home and listening to this, they'll understand what that means. And then my second, a bit different. These are the things that I'm doing right now: reading, listening, watching, which every week is something new. So it's one of my favorite books of all time. It's called The Bitcoin Standard. Yes, everybody should have a read of this if you want to understand. It's not only about Bitcoin, but then it goes back to the origins of money and commodities and understanding how currency was created from what, and then it goes into how a commodity is a commodity, and then why Bitcoin is coming onto the scene, and then understanding that. So it's not only about the Bitcoin. It's not a pitch about Bitcoin. It's not about it's just about understanding the underlying technology and why it does something and will do something to the world, and why right now it's valued at $10,000 a coin. Why people question it? What does it mean? It's just digital money. You don't even know what money means. Read this book, understand it. For me, I love going back to it. I've read it a few times. Right now, it's ranked around the world. Hey,
who wrote the book?
Oh, for God's sake! I don't know. Just type in.
It doesn't matter.
His name's Ralph something. The Bitcoin Standard. The Bitcoin Standard. His name is Sadine Amos.
Sadine and Amos.
Yes, so I'll put that in there. And yeah, so it's amazing. A really good read. And even if you don't understand Bitcoin or even if you don't understand money, this is like a history lesson. It shows you what it means, and it's a very easy read. It's not heavy. It's not like a Russell Brand interview. You know, it doesn't spam you with massive words that you have to Google to throw you off balance. You know, so it's a very easy read. You could read it in probably about a week, and just it gives you a bit of an understanding of it. Also, I love it. So that's my recommendation station. No, up
excellent.
To you.
I've got a movie this week. One of my favorite movies. I haven't watched it in a long time, and I watched it the other day. Nothing But Trouble from 1991. An American horror comedy directed by Dan Aykroyd. It's got Chevy Chase in it and Demi Moore,
brilliant.
Really hot young Demi Moore.
I love hot young Demi Moore.
It's completely ridiculous. It's about these yuppies, and they're going on a road trip, and they for some reason get stuck in this small town. And the small town is run by this crazy sheriff, and who is Chevy. I think the crazy sheriff is what's his name? It escapes me right now. It's just brilliant. It's like slapstick comedy.
Dan Aykroyd.
It's completely bonkers. And I love it. So Nothing But Trouble from 1991 is a brilliant, fun movie.
It looks funny. I haven't seen it yet. So the bad guy is Chevy Chase, is it?
No, Chevy Chase is the good guy, and then the bad guy is actually Dan Aykroyd. You know that crazy-looking zombie-looking guy, the judge?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him in prosthetic makeup and stuff.
It looks funny. You can tell it's sort of him as well. Oh, young hot Demi Moore. It takes you back to True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Jesus. No, she wasn't in that. No, what was she in? Fuck. Oh, like G.I. Jane. Ooh.
Yeah, G.I. Jane. True Lies was...
Jodie... No, what's her name?
I know who you mean, though. Damn.
What's her name? I know it. But it was the strip scene. I'm gonna have to Google it. But anyway, the Nothing But Trouble got 5.1, so I'm not gonna be watching that.
It's an acquired taste.
God damn it!
I love old movies.
Yeah, I love a good old movie as well. So there she is, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Curtis. Damn it. Excellent.
Anyway, so there we go. So that's the recommendation station. Wacka wow wow. We don't have any TikTok videos of the week. TikTok's going downhill because now they're doing location things. So all I'm getting on TikTok now is the creative young New Zealand people. Which I'm like, dude, I don't want to be seeing. It's so crap, man. And some of them are trying to be comedians. You got it's just crap, man. And I really enjoyed watching Americans, English, just a bit of a range of different stuff. And all we're getting is like Guy Williams. You know,
so you can't change the region on it then? So,
nah, man. They've done it all. They've just done it now that wherever you are, if something goes viral in another city or in another country, you will see it. But then if it sort of what they've done is with the algorithms is if you're popular overseas and you get, because the way that the algorithms work is about how many stages you get to, and if you get past like 20 stage, that's when you'll start going global. And, you know, some of mine have gone overseas because you can see comments that people are from Brazil and they say something and it's all in like Mexican or Spanish and you don't understand what the fuck they're talking about.
Well, that's a shame. Is that going to be the death of TikTok, you reckon, then?
not the death, it's just move countries if you want better TikTok stuff. You can't use an APN. I mean, you could use a VPN on your phone, but at the same time, dude, it's just like, I'm just seeing the same old things like, oh, in New Zealand, we don't go, oh, can I have $1, please? We go, oh,
got a
give us
dollar.
$1, please. You know, it's just like, oh, you know, stupid stuff like that in New Zealand. It's just all this crap, man.
I hate people that make like TikTok or Instagram videos where they're doing a scene with themselves. So they're playing a different character, and it's just never done well, and it's just so.
Oh, dude,
cringe.
I'll bring in a TikTok. I'll bring a TikTok of the week next week where this guy does it very well.
Okay,
He's an
cool.
actor, and I know what you're saying. There are some which are like cringeworthy.
I'm talking about people that live in a farm and matter.
Yeah, matter. Yeah, and you see heaps of those, and they're all kids, and they're like, "Oh, uncle, can I go out tonight?" And oh, bro, have you done your homework? And it's the sounds all off, and it's not funny, and it's stupid. So anyway, TikTok's going down. I love it. I love Kiwis and their humor, but not. It's just I want to see international stuff. I really enjoyed watching Americans and Canadians and Europeans doing TikTok because they're funny. But now I don't see them anymore. I'm stuck with just. People Jacinda Ardern she's a beauty, she's our queen. Oh, videos of it's just so crap. Oh, in New Zealand, when we get to level 2, where do we go to the hairdressers, bro? Oh, getting a cut, getting a type fade. It's just like,
this is why I don't want it, because I just don't want things like that in my life. Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on. So there we go. So we've done all that. Boom, boom, boom. We are now in the. Do you want to go Renner news? We're running out of time.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. We're not going to be able to fit Renner news in this week, but we'll get to it next week. Hypothetical question. If you remember last week, Omar, I asked you.
Of course.
Do you remember the other hypothetical from last week?
Yeah, of course, mate, but let's refresh the audience.
Okay, so your wife has a very successful acting career. This is hypothetical, by the way.
That's right. Well, okay. Could be if I wanted to.
So this is last week's answer. Your wife has a very successful acting career, and you've always lived in the shadow. She's the breadwinner. You've had small roles, but not the success that she's had. It's awkward when you're on the red carpet. You get into photos done, and the paps are like, "Can you stand to the side a little bit there,
please.
Omar?"
Can you take a photo, please?
And you have to hold her handbag while they're taking a picture of her, and you're like, "Damn it!" But you're rich because she's rich as hell, and but unfortunately for you. Fortunately for you in this scenario, you got divorced, and so you're like Adele's ex-husband. You're entitled to a massive payday, so you've become rich off of her back, but you haven't really had much of a career.
Not really, yeah.
And
because of her.
Yeah, and the other scenario was the opposite. So you're the successful one. She's in your shadow. You've had some she's had small roles, blah blah blah. But the divorce ends, and she's now taken you for pretty much everything. You've had a good career, but damn, she pretty much bled you dry, mate. Left you with a couple of $100 in your bank account. So now you're going to have to take rubbish 50%. Movies like Nicolas Cage or something.
No, yeah. Or but then you got to think of it like I look at it like Johnny Depp scenario. A lot of money's been taken off him. Miranda Kerr thing. I would do that. I think for me, it won't. I don't mind being someone else's shadow because I haven't got an ego. But it would. But for me, I think just to support a family, which is something that's part of what I like doing. One of my attributes is that I really want to care for a family and look after someone. I think for me, it would be I don't care. I've had a successful life. I've provided for my wife. And she's taken me for 50% of everything that I've got, and that's okay because money is money. It doesn't really matter. Assets and assets. But then if she takes my fucking kids, she can actually have the kids. I'll just get some new kids from someone else who is more successful than her. So I think number 2 for me. I thought this one through for this. I think I'll go for number 2. Next question. Let's go.
All right, brilliant. Good to know. I've always wanted to know that. Anyway, this week's hypothetical question. We're going to get the answer next week.
Exactly.
We all love Jeremy Renner, and we all love actors that decide to become musicians later in their career. So, when you make awesome music, you usually need a music video. And fortunately for Omar, his agents all called him up, and he's got 3 amazing Hollywood actors that require an actor for their music video for their latest song.
Okay.
So we've got these 3 scenarios. If you click on your notes there, Omar.
Oh, yeah, I see.
So first off, we have Steven Seagal.
Yep.
He's a musician. I don't know if you know that. So I think if
No idea.
Yeah, we'll click through. Let's listen to a little bit of his music.
Okay, press play. Steven Seagal did this? Oh,
So he's like country hillbilly type of music. So,
with those Neo glasses on.
yeah. So you also get to come up with the concept for the music video as well. So they've given you a lot of free range. So you get to choose which person you want to do the music video for and come up with the concept.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay.
Choice
Next.
number 1, Steven Seagal.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Choice number 2.
Yep.
We've talked about Terrence Howard before. Remember Terrence
we have.
Howard from Entourage, and we had that picture of him, and he looked like a fucking space wizard.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, well, you don't know if you know this, but he's a musician too. So let's sample a little bit of Terrence Howard music.
Oh, a bit of jazz.
So this is very kind of gospel-y.
I like it.
This song's called "Shine Through It."
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So Terrence Howard is
Okay, that's
choice
quite nice.
number 2. It's more jazzy. You could maybe come up, a good concept for that one as well.
Totally. Yeah.
And of course, we couldn't do this without having choice number 3 of being the old good dog Jeremy Renner.
Ooh, boom. Man!
Right, so let's have a little listen to December Days, which is the latest lyric video by Jeremy Renner.
Stupid. All right.
Oh Christ! So this is like more like a ballad.
Thank God this is music.
Oh, anyway, that's enough of that shit.
I don't want to
We'll
get into
copyright
that. Yeah, okay.
strike. Anyway, so those are your choices, Omar. Next week we want to hear which famous movie star turned musician's music video you want to do. Easy.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I've got the answer in my head already. So that brings us to the end of the show. That is the end. Welcome to the end. This is the end, your only friend, the end. So thank you very much for coming out, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Noel, for just being you,
You're welcome.
coming on board, doing all the work, It's good. It's good on you. Thank you everyone for coming out. Again, remember to smash those likes, smash the listens, send it to a friend, send it to your parents. Also interact more, come onto the Facebook, do some bits and pieces. We're getting some really good listens from all around the world, so thank you very much for everyone that is coming out. We really appreciate it.
Send us
really
some Batcoin. Send us some Batcoin.
We need some more Batcoin, basic attention coin. I think we should get into. We'll do a crypto episode to explain a bit more about that, so then you guys can invest in it and give it to us. But no, we don't want to take your money. But yeah, so thank you very much, everyone, for coming out, and thank you for supporting the channel. We do this for free. Why? Because we love doing it. And by your interactions, you guys liking, subscribing, it just fuels us to keep doing more. And we are very grateful for all the
appreciate
listens.
it, yeah.
We appreciate it a lot. Any final words there, Noel?
Not from me, Omar. Just the weather's been nice, hasn't it? It's been good.
Yeah, let's not go into the weather. My father always said that what do you want, mate? My father said if you ever talk about the weather in a conversation, it means you want something. So, okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. No more words from him, no more words from me. Keep safe out there. All the best, and Godspeed.
The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only, and any reference on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk. This podcast should not be considered professional advice whatsoever. The third-party materials or content of any third-party site referenced in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions, standards, or policies of the owner.